Ayla and her loyal companion Leo. The city was eerily quiet that cold winter night. Snowflakes drifted gently from the sky, blanketing the streets in a thick, icy layer. 8-year-old Ayla pulled her thin coat tighter around her small frame, her breath forming clouds in the frigid air. She had been wandering for hours, her feet aching, and her stomach empty. The half-eaten piece of bread in her hand was all she had left, but even that felt like a blessing in her lonely, harsh world. As Ayla walked through the dimly lit alleyways, she caught sight of a small shadow moving among the trash bins. Curious, she stepped closer, and her heart skipped a beat when she saw a tiny, shivering puppy. The little doggy looked up at her with wide, hopeful eyes, its ribs visible beneath its scruffy fur. It was clear that the pup, like Ayla, was fighting to survive another cold night. The girl knelt down, her eyes meeting the dog's. "Hey there," she whispered, her voice soft and hesitant. The puppy wagged its tail weakly but didn't move closer. Ayla hesitated for a moment, then broke her piece of bread in half. "Eddie, you need this more than I do." She stretched out her hand, and after a brief moment of hesitation, the pup darted forward and snatched the bread. As it chewed, its tail wagged more vigorously. Ayla smiled for the first time in days. From that moment on, the two became inseparable. Ayla named the puppy Leo, and together they faced the harsh realities of the streets. At night, they huddled together in abandoned doorways or under makeshift shelters, finding warmth and comfort in each other's presence. During the day, Ayla would search for scraps of food, always sharing whatever she found with Leo. The little dog, in turn, became her protector, barking at strangers who came too close and standing guard while she slept. One particularly harsh night, as a biting wind howled through the streets, Ayla and Leo found refuge under an old bridge. Ayla wrapped her arms around Leo, her thin fingers buried in his fur. "We'll get through this, Leo," she whispered, though tears welled in her eyes. She wasn't sure how much longer she could keep going, but Leo's presence gave her a glimmer of hope. For the first time in her young life, she felt like she wasn't completely alone. As days turned into weeks, their bond grew stronger. Leo's playful energy brought light to Ayla's dark world, and Ayla's kindness gave Leo a sense of belonging. They were each other's family, and together they braved the unforgiving streets. But Ayla knew they couldn't go on like this forever. She needed help. One day, as Ayla and Leo wandered through a busy street, a kind-looking woman noticed them. The woman had warm eyes and a gentle smile, and she approached slowly, so as not to startle them. "Sweetheart, are you okay?" she asked, her voice full of concern. Ayla instinctively stepped back, holding Leo close. "I'm fine," she muttered, though it was clear she wasn't. The woman crouched down, extending her hand. "I'm here to help, not hurt," she said softly. "What is your name?" After a long pause, Ayla finally whispered, "Ayla." She glanced at Leo, who was watching the woman closely. "This is Leo. He is my family." The woman smiled. "Well, Ayla and Leo, how about you come with me? I have some warm food and a place where you can rest." Ayla hesitated but eventually nodded. Her instincts told her to trust this woman, and Leo seemed too sensitive to her. That night, Ayla and Leo slept in warm beds for the first time in what felt like forever. The woman, who introduced herself as Mrs. Collins, promised to help Ayla find a safe home. But Ayla was clear about one thing: Leo is still stay with me. He is not just a doggy. He is my family. Over the next few weeks, Ayla began to adjust to her new life. Mrs. Collins arranged for her to meet a foster family, the Johnsons, who welcomed her with open arms. They were kind and patient, but Ayla struggled to feel at home. Without Leo by her side, the world seemed incomplete. Though the Johnsons had agreed to taking Leo, he was temporarily being cared for elsewhere while the family prepared for his arrival. One night, Ayla couldn't take the separation any longer. Determined to bring Leo back, she snuck out of the house and made her way through the dark streets. Guided by sheer determination, she eventually found the shelter where Leo was being kept. When she saw him, her heart leapt with joy. "Leo!" she cried, and the little doggy barked excitedly, wagging his tail furiously. Ayla wrapped her arms around him, tears streaming down her face. "I'll never leave you again," she promised. When Ayla returned to the Johnsons' house with Leo, the family welcomed them both with understanding smiles. They saw how much Leo meant to Ayla and realized that the bond between the two was unbreakable. Over time, Ayla began to feel truly at home. With Leo by her side, she found the courage to trust the open her heart to her new family. Years later, Ayla often looked back on that snowy night when she first met Leo. He had saved her in a way she couldn't have imagined, and together they had built a life filled with love and hope. Ayla and Leo's story became a reminder to everyone who heard it. No matter how dark life may seem, love, loyalty, and determination can light the way forward.